Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining and for coming back. This is Joanna the Medium and your intuitive coach. Just very quickly, these are going to be your October readings. I use different cards, sometimes different decks in different readings. Always remember these are general readings. So if you would like a private session, that information is down below for you. Also, if you would like to have the long-term forecast from July until the end of the year, you can do so, or you can purchase those videos on my video page or Vimeo page, and that information is also down below for you. I don't think I have anything that is pressing other than thank you so much for watching, for liking, and for sharing. I always want to make sure that I say this first and foremost, because without you, I wouldn't be doing this. And remember that these messages are general, like I said, and they may not apply to all of you. Some messages may apply to some of you. Some messages may apply to different parts of your life, or a little bit of my message may apply to some of your life. So take what makes sense and discard what doesn't. But always remember, it is almost always, these messages never make sense at the beginning of a month, and they almost always make sense towards the end of the month and the beginning of the next month, which would be November, for this series. So also listen to your moon sign and your rising sign, as these may offer you greater clarity. And I think that's all I have. Enjoy these videos, and I look forward to hearing from you. And if you wish to book a reading with me, that information is down below for you. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, beautiful Cancerians, or sign of Cancer. This is going to be a reading for the month of October, and I'm going to start with a channeled message. So one of the first things that I received for you, for many of you, I actually heard the words, time to get to work. And month of October, or the channeled message is, you're going to be busy. I felt a lot of busyness around you. I felt a lot of creativity. At the same time, I felt a lot of newness. I saw the symbol of 0, which represents a brand new energy. So there is a lot of stuff that will be going on for you in the month of October. I also saw you building some aspect of your life, whether it is building your career, building a relationship, taking a relationship to the next level, building a brand new relationship, building or putting new structures in your work, creating more in your work. There's a lot of busyness. I also saw there is going to be either a need for delegating or delegation on your part, or you will be delegating, or you're in a position that you will have to delegate to other people in order to spread your priorities, or your what's the word I'm looking for, your commitments, in a way that won't make you go stir crazy. That's what I want to hear. Let's see what else I heard, what else I saw. Yes, I also heard for some of you, you will be the center of attention. So that can be taken in many different ways. Sometimes being center of attention means that you are in a position where you need to make firm decisions. You can be a CEO, CFO, you can be the manager, you can be in any capacity, or a home mom, but something in the month of October is going to put you at the center of it all, or as a center of attention. And that's not going to apply to all of you, but it will apply to some of you. And that context, that could be in any context. It could be personal, it could be romantic, work related. I did see this mostly work related, but for some of you, this can certainly be a personal relationship type scenario as well. The other thing I kept seeing is because there is so much going on for you, you might have a tendency to feel really tired, and there is a feeling of needing to go, and there's a feeling of there not being enough time. You might find yourself lacking sleep, short of sleep, or generally feeling spent, tired, which is spent, and sometimes even miserable. So that's what I kept seeing. I saw someone smoking and then putting out the cigarette, and I said, what's the message with the smoking? And I actually had heard quit smoking. So some of you may be taking the decision or making the decision to let go of a long habit that you had, and for some of you it's going to be smoking, for some of you it's going to be drinking, anything that is not health benefit and takes away from you, whether health wise, financially, or otherwise, and it's expendable, it's not a necessity. I feel some of you will be putting that to rest. And if you're going to quit smoking, fantastic, because that's certainly something that you can clearly do for your health and well-being. I saw some of you swimming, so either some of you do swim, or you will need to take some kind of relaxing break and either go to the gym, go to swimming. Swimming can be very although it can be good exercise, cardio, but it can also be very relaxing at the same time, because you expand the mental energy as you exercise. So swimming, other forms of exercise, there's going to be a need for you to do this for most of you in order to balance yourself out, because there's a mountain of things to do that I'm seeing, and there's not going to be enough time or enough of you to make it all happen at once. So delegate, and there's going to be a need for relaxation. So that is what one more thing. For some of you, interestingly enough, I saw you visiting someone's grave, and this message is about an anniversary. So some of you will be remembering somebody's anniversary, and this was particularly to do with passing. So whether you had someone who passed a long time ago, not that long ago, this is not a prediction, this is not something that's going to happen, this is something that happened, because it was clearly said to me that this was an anniversary date. So for those of you who have an anniversary coming up, and I'm going to say end of September until sometime in November, there's a window there about 6 weeks where there will be going to see somebody at the cemetery, or you will be spending time in a way that will honor the memory of the one that you've lost. So that's obviously not going to be for all of you. Certainly, I hope it's not for many of you. Okay, so that is the information that I received as channeled information. Then I went through cards and I have 3 different decks, and I asked a whole bunch of different questions. So the first question I asked is, what is the overarching energy for the month of October for the sign of Cancer? And I got the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So this is what it is in upright, and this is what it is in reverse. And again, for those of you who are new to my channel, I don't read cards the traditional way. I don't know how, so I will get my own interpretation and whatever I get from spirit, and it may not be the same way as a traditional tarot reader would say. So when I saw this card, 4 is a number of foundation. It's a number of building. It's a number of putting structures in, putting brand new structures forth in order to make a stronger or new foundation going forward. But because it's shown to me in this particular position, I felt that some of you may feel very overburdened while you are trying to work on something that is important for you. So this card also traditionally can represent being materialism. So if you may find yourself devoting a lot of time at work, and I'm not going to say you're a workaholic, although I'm sure for some of you that is what it is. But because of what I saw and the intensity for the month of October, it wouldn't surprise me that you would be possibly spending a lot of time in trying to accomplish something that you are working on, and that is connected to finances. It can also signify, another message here is that you might find yourself being slightly overburdened by a relationship that you are finding yourself in. Now, this relationship can be romantic for sure, but it can also be a relationship that you are connecting with someone, and it proves to be a little bit too much for you in the month of October. So similar message to what I received earlier, which is October is going to be busy for many of you. You need to pace yourself, and you need to find a way to deal with some of your frustrations, because I'm seeing the proverbial image of a bull, and the fumes coming out of his nose. And I know it's not fumes, but you know what I mean. And he's angry, so there's a lot of aggression. So if you're finding yourself in the month of October overburdened, overwhelmed because you're working on something, or you are working with someone, or somebody is being overly demanding on you, make sure you do something in order to mitigate that energy, so you don't blow up in the wrong places. So that is the overall energy. Let me see what else I wrote here. Oh yes, the other thing I wrote, excuse me, lost my pen. The other thing I heard was pay attention to your back. So some of you may have maybe experiencing back problems, and could be due to various things: sitting, not enough exercise, poor posture, too much sitting. The message was pay attention to your back. Also, the other thing that's coming to me is pay attention when you are lifting either heavy things or children as well, or anything that is, well, it's going to put weight on your back. You are to watch your back, because you don't want to strain your back while you are busy, because that is not going to be helpful to you at this time. The next card I have is the Wisdom Tarot, Colette Reed. That's her card. And we have the card called Loyal Heart. So to me, this is a card of commitment. And looks like in the month of October, you will be committing yourself to certain things. Yes, when it comes to relationships, it means that you may find yourself in a committed relationship, and if it's a new relationship, there might be a brand new commitment evolving that will take your relationship to the next step. This card also signifies that there are people around you who are loyal, and that will prove themselves loyal to you, or will prove their loyalty to you. So if you are starting brand new, and if you are working on something really hard in the month of October, looks like there will be people that you can depend on, people who are devoted to you and your well-being. So don't be too hesitant to ask for help when needed. The other message of this card is that you will be committed really to a cause or a project or something that you are working on, which is very similar to what I was seeing earlier and what I was receiving earlier in the channeled message. So it's a good card. It just basically says there's a lot of commitments that will be going on in the month of October, and this could be commitment to yourself. This could be commitment to your work. This could be commitment to a cause, a project, anything. There's a lot of committing energy. And remember, because we have the card, because we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, and because this card can signify, too much focus on material things, you may be committing yourself to a work project, and that may leave you slightly unbalanced because you're going to be focusing so much energy on it. But this is actually a very good card. The next card you have, which is fantastic, it's the Yang card, which is the masculine aspect of who we are. And this is very much a do card. This is action oriented card. This is a month of doing things. This would be similar to Ace of Swords. Doing Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. This would be the action card. So looks like the month of October has you doing many things, and I certainly see some of you hopping a lot. Some of you may be driving children to school, and not just your children, but somebody else's children. And I see you being very busy. For some of you, I'm seeing single moms or moms with younger children, and you're the soccer mom, you're the hockey mom, you're the mom that does the driving, and on top of everything else, you're also, a bus driver. And I mean that as a metaphor. So that is what came up. When I asked what the caution is, or if there's anything for you to look out for, the card, again, Colette cards, the card of chaos and conflict came up in protection. position. So all this is saying here is that you might find yourself in a pickle in the month of October because there is so much to do. And because I see you all over the place, for many of you, you may find yourself in a conflict with somebody else because you're so focused on doing all these things and on being so busy. If you find yourself in a battle with someone, and this is certainly not, verbal or emotional battle, this message is about, if there's a conflict, it's a good time for you to pause and look for resolution. This card also talks about needing to find a common ground, which is looking for resolution, and also needing to, what did I write here? To see if you can do some negotiation in order to restore things into balance. So this is a card, this message is basically, be aware that you might find yourself in a chaotic situation, and sometimes we have so many good things going on, there's too much, and it causes conflict with other people. Doesn't mean that it has to be negative. Sometimes we have so many projects and they're wonderful. We find ourselves in a conflict, not knowing what to choose and which way to go first and what to start first and where to put our attention to. So it doesn't have to be negative at all. I've learned that. But the message here is, learn how to bring it back to balance and see if you can negotiate or delegate again. And the card of commitment comes up, which is, you have people who are loyal to you, who are committed to you, and you have people that will help you if you ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. So some of you are me doers, which is me, I'm going to do it all by myself. I am independent. I can do it all. Well, no, sometimes we cannot do it all because, well, there just isn't enough of us to do so. So I want to say to some of you, don't try to be a hero here. And by saying that, what I mean is, you guys know what I mean. So there's a bit of caution here. You might find yourself in a pickle in the month of October. Okay, for some of you, it already started in September, but a lot of it has to do with delegating and just spreading things around and picking your battles and picking your priorities. And remember, at the beginning, we talked about you delegating and really being really busy or needing to delegate. So the next set of cards, it's a completely different card. That's the traditional tarot. I think it's the Marcello, the card of Tarot of Dreams, I think. You have two cards, and I'm going to, the message I got was two cards from the two cards as a unit. You've got the Six of Coins, or Six of Pentacles, and you've got the Ten of Wands. The way this came to me, so this card talks about giving. It's a very positive card. It's about giving. It's about being generous. It's about giving. That's what did I write here when I was meditating on it? No, that's something else. Giving, being generous. But because this card came on top of it, the way, and you can see, this is a card. The person is burdened here. He's got all these things on the run. He's got these wands here, and they're pressing down on him, and he's trying to move through the treacherous area, which is hard work. And those wands are weighing heavy on him. So this is the message here. The caution here is for you not to overburden or overwork yourself. If you tend to be a workaholic, well, that's like alcoholic. That's a behavior to the extreme, and it renders you eventually ineffective because you're too lopsided on a scale of when it comes to balance. And is there a balance here? No, there's no balance. So there's a couple of things here. One is, you may find yourself be really devoted to a cause, whether it be work, whether it be a relationship, whether it be anything that is you're working on, a physical aspect, anything that you have, you own, you work on. And as a result, you may find yourself feeling quite overburdened. And again, the same idea of delegation is coming to mind. So 10 of Wands also represents an end of a cycle. You're at the end of something, and that may be the case. You may be finishing a project, and maybe that's why you're trying to work so much in order to work a deadline. That can certainly be it. But for the most part, the message I get from this particular combination in my way is anything that you do in October has the potential to be done to excess and therefore cause you to feel quite overburdened, which is why they were telling us at the very beginning that for many of you, you will find yourself feeling tired, exhausted, and just having had too much. So the message here is don't spread yourself too thin. There's a lot of newness going on. There is a lot of new structures you're putting in. You're building new foundations. You might be working on projects. You might be working on your relationships. You might be starting something with someone, a new career, anything. There will be a tendency for you to overdo it. Be mindful. I'm seeing some of you need to pay attention to eating. So if you are working long hours, make sure that you have healthy snacks. And I'm seeing fruit, and that's just my symbol for healthy snack. For some of you, you will have to pay attention to your nutrition in general in the month of October, because you may not be eating enough, or you may be choosing the wrong kinds of foods because you'll be so much on the run. And for many of you, you will be ending a habit, or the message here is get your habit under control. So if you are working hard and the tendency is to relax with an alcoholic drink, notice if those tendencies are becoming too much of a hazard than a relaxation component. And I think you know what I mean. This could be drugs, this could be alcohol, this could be cigarettes, it could be anything that is basically not healthy at the end of the day when used in excess. And I think that's all I have for you. Certainly a lot of energy going on, whatever you guys are doing. I don't see anything bad here, but whatever you guys are doing, I'm tired. I want to go to sleep just giving you this message. So I wish you best of luck in the month of October. Please know this is a general reading, so it may not apply to all of you. Some parts may apply to some of you. So take what it works, and don't take what doesn't. And of course, if you would like to comment down below, I would love to hear your comment. And listen to this at the end of October or even at the beginning of November, because generally speaking, at the beginning of each month, it may not make sense to you, at least not a whole lot. Thank you so much again for watching and for listening. I wish you best of luck, whatever you're doing. Take care. Bye.